If you've ever worked in a fast-paced environment, you know how challenging it can be to make yourself heard, especially if you're an introvert. Conversations move quickly, decisions are made on the fly, and it can feel like your voice gets a little bit lost in all of that fast-paced action. Today, I want to share tips on how to make yourself heard in a high-speed setting without compromising who you are, especially if you're an introvert. So the first tip I have for you today is to be clear and concise. In a fast-paced environment, time is limited, and people juggle priorities. When you have something to say, it's important to get straight to the point. Focus on your main message and avoid extra details. Practice summarizing your thoughts in a sentence or two. This will not only help you communicate effectively, but it also makes it more likely that others will remember what you said because it was short and concise and memorable. Another strategy is to find the right moment to speak. Timing is everything in a fast-paced environment. Look for pauses or moments where the topic shifts to something you know well. If you can find a moment, say, "I have a quick point I'd like to add," or "Before we move on, I'd like to share my perspective." These phrases signal that you have something to contribute and help create space for your voice. It's also important to use assertive language. Assertiveness is not aggression. It's about expressing your thoughts with confidence. Instead of saying something like, "I think maybe we could," try, "I recommend we." This change in language makes a huge difference in how your message is received. Assertive language shows you believe in what you're saying, and it encourages others to take you seriously. If you're still finding it hard to be heard, consider following up in writing. Fast-paced environments can be chaotic, and points sometimes get lost in the chaos. So sending a follow-up email after a meeting lets you reiterate your thoughts and even add context. It also gives others a chance to review your ideas without the pressure of real-time decision. So I really recommend following up after a meeting with an email with your thoughts in writing, especially if you have a hard time speaking up in meetings. Another tip I have is to leverage on allies. If you have colleagues comfortable speaking up, let them know you have a point to make. They can actually help you and create space for you in the meeting. And they can also echo your ideas after you've said them. Allies can really help you validate your perspective, especially if it's being overlooked, because they can call it back, or they can say, "But wait, you said this and that. I thought that was interesting. Let's consider this." I think it's also important to stay calm under pressure. Fast-paced environments are super stressful, and it's easy to feel rushed. Take deep breath before you speak and focus on your message. Remember that your point of view, your insights are valuable. The more you practice staying calm, the more confident you'll feel in a high-paced setting, and the easier it'll be to speak up and be heard. Making yourself heard is about persistency. You might not always get the response you want, and that's okay. Keep sharing ideas and don't be discouraged if it takes time to be recognized. Leadership isn't about being the loudest. It's about showing up, it's about adding value, and it's about believing in your own voice. Making yourself heard in a fast-paced environment can be challenging, but by being clear, by being assertive, by being strategic about timing, and following up when needed, you can ensure that your voice is heard, even in a fast-paced environment, and even if you're an introvert. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you do to make sure that you're being heard? What strategies have helped you? Please share your experience in the comments, because I'd love to learn from other people. Thanks for sharing, and thanks for listening.